Good morning, y'all. Jeff here. Today is March the 7th, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how my 30-day fasting went. And we're going to talk about different subjects in it or different chapters in it. But yeah, today is March the 7th, 2024, and I feel great. I feel good, but I still have a long journey ahead of me. So, the benefits of doing this for 30 days, no food. I've had different people send me messages and asking different questions. Some of the people I really didn't know, but they're on my Facebook. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the concerns. And thank you for your, information you did give me. And your thoughts and prayers. Thank you for that very much. Thank you very much. But I'm first going to start with, I'm not going to right away tell you guys the weight that I lost and everything. I'm going to talk and clear some things out, clear some things. A few friends from high school with some concerns, and they sent me some messages wishing me the best. I thank you very much for that. But I'm going to talk about the benefits right away. We're going to start from the first week of the fasting period, okay? The first week was brutal. Okay, you're talking no food whatsoever. I was in a situation where I had to do what I had to do. So this was the best thing I could think of that worked back in 2014, 15, 16. It worked. But the benefits of this date, up to date, now, were these. The first week, I started feeling clean. I started feeling not completely clean. I could still feel, I definitely could feel the pain in my body. I could feel the pain on my joints, my hands, my shoulders, my knees, and that injury in my foot, unfortunately, that hasn't went away. I haven't been able to enjoy the good days we've had here in Rockford, Illinois, the good weather days. Today it's actually cold. Yesterday was colder, but I haven't been able to enjoy it because my foot. I struck a shovel framing out this walkway. We were going to pour some cement, and I was framing out this walkway. And when I struck the shovel to dig for the framing, I didn't hurt my foot at the time. I came home, and 2 days later, my foot was just messed up. So maybe I struck a nerve. They don't know. I've had some x-rays done, and they didn't see anything wrong with it. So I'm thinking it's a nerve. Okay, back to this deal here. With the exception of that situation, everything else, my hands, like I said, my shoulders, my knees, were still hurting. I still had some inflammation, still swelling in my legs and stuff the first week. The second week, I had some, it wasn't as much. The pain was still there. But the second week, I felt really clean. Mind you, we're talking already 2 weeks, right? So by the second week, I felt a lot cleaner. I felt, detoxed, okay? How I did that, I'm gonna get into that. But I felt I felt somewhat completely clean, okay? The pain was still there. Joint pains, hand pains, body pains and stuff like that was still there, I'm pretty sure in 2 weeks, I probably maybe lost maybe half of the weight, 15 pounds maybe. But the third week, I noticed the pain was disappearing. And by then, it was probably the 18th, somewhere around there, 17th, 18th. The pain was almost gone, to be honest. Not disappearing, almost gone. I really didn't have a lot of pain. So those were real good benefits. Getting up out of bed was a lot easier. Sitting at this chair I'm sitting in now, it was way, way easier, and it was way comfortable, and by the fourth week, man, I felt like I feel now. I don't feel any pain. The swelling in my legs is gone. The discoloration, I think the discoloration was just circulation, maybe. I would sit in this chair that I'm sitting in now, and my feet would swell after so long. They would swell. And some people might say, well, that's normal and stuff. I don't think so, because they don't swell now, and maybe it's the weight that you're putting, leaning, sitting at a desk. Maybe it's the weight. You're kind of scrunched down, I don't know. But the swelling doesn't happen anymore. So those, to me, my back is a lot easier on my back. I mean, by this time we're talking for sure 15 plus pounds gone, So yeah, I'm going to feel a lot better. My face feels cleaner. Everything feels cleaner. And of course, no coffee, brushing my teeth with a baking soda type toothpaste. It started cleaning my teeth. I mean, really, my teeth have come a long ways just in 30 days. What it's done, I'm just impressed, and just leaving coffee alone, any type of juices, anything like that, leaving it alone, pop, soda, we call it in Texas. But yeah, my teeth super clean, my mouth super clean, my sinus. Let me tell you about my sinus. My sinus cleared up about the second to third week. My sinus problems were gone. I don't know what that is, but if you've ever been out to eat, and let's say you went to Golden Corral or a Chinese buffet or something, when you eat, all of a sudden you have this dryness in your mouth, which I can't explain. I'm going to look into all that and learn why these things happen. That's another thing I'm going to do. Like why these things happen, right? You get dryness in your mouth, and immediately when you leave these places, at least for me, I don't know if it's for everybody, but at least for me, when you leave these places, you feel like, man, I got to blow my nose or something. Your mouth is like cotton mouth. It gets dry. And I think it's because all the stuff that's in the food, like sugars, maybe salt, I don't know. But I'm going to try to find out why that is that happens. Sometimes it's happened at home too. And that's why I say maybe the seasonings or the sugar that you use or the sugar that's in foods, period, when people cook them and stuff. But the benefits, it's just a lot of benefits, guys. I was asked the trick question. I said, this is a trick question. My doctor said, because I had to see him after I weighed myself for a few seconds. I went and talked to him, and he asked me, Jeff, would you be considering and doing it again? And I looked at him and I said, man, this was brutal, I didn't answer right away. I just looked at him with that look. He said, well, you don't have to do it again. You could just really watch what you're eating now and come up with a good plan, and try not to eat after 5:30. But he said, man, if you could pull it off again, if you could do it again, it would really be amazing. And who knows what the benefits of it would what the benefits would be if you did it again. So that would total out to 60 days of fasting, So I'm going to tell you guys, I'm really considering it. He wants me to do it. If I'm going to do it, he wants me to start Thursday, which would be a week from today, a week from March the 7th. Would be Thursday if I'm correct. So I would start it Thursday. Thursday I wouldn't eat nothing, and that day it would start. So it's something that I'm thinking about. Because I'll tell you guys, it's very hard. I'm not gonna say it's very hard because I don't want to put that in you guys' head either. It was very hard for me. You're walking around and family and friends, they're going to eat, they're going to drink this, they're going to do that. Like I went to a buddy's house and he got a milkshake. And I was like, oh my God, you got a milkshake, And then, where was I? Oh, I was, where was I? I was somewhere and my buddy, he was like, oh man, can you pull over there? I want to get this burger, I'm not going to mention the place, but he got this burger with fries and everything. He reached for his wallet and he didn't have it. So it's bad enough he's getting the burger, the fries, all this stuff, right? He says, man, can you pay for it, man? And I'll get you back, And I'm like, dude, you got some nerve knowing what I'm going through. So here it is. He was like, man, I pay for it, right? And I'm like, okay, so now I reached in my wallet and paid for this. And then the stuff is given to me to give to him, right? So I'm like, ain't this about I'm like, wow. So anyways, and then I'm at home, and of course the family has to cook. They have to make, they ordered pizza. They ordered pizza. That was one of them. They made some Mexican rice, which was, man, you could smell Mexican rice from a mile away. Chorizo and eggs with potatoes. One day, I was like, oh man, I was in the room. I was like, oh man, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And it was pretty tough. I guess for those reasons I say tough, because I'll share something with you guys that's really, really true. I think after the first, I want to say not 2 weeks, but 10 days, you think about food and maybe your stomach will yell at you, fuss at you, hey, here and there. But it's not really like, oh man, I'm starving, I'm hungry. It's like your body and your brain gets used to it. I mean, at least for me, from the second week to the fourth week, I would say that maybe 2 times I felt the hunger per week. 2 times. The first week, it was like, you were more concerned, like, am I going to make it? Man, yeah, you're hungry. Every day you're like, oh man, I want a sandwich, a burger, just a coffee, with a cookie or something. You're thinking like that the first week. But then that all goes out the window because hey, we're not playing around. This is deep water stuff. We're going into deep water with this. You got a long way, buddy. You shouldn't even think about anything. An egg by itself, you shouldn't think about. That's how my mind had to be. I had to have that kind of mindset. But I would say from the second week, third week, and fourth week, maybe 2 times I felt hunger, like I was hungry. Maybe it was a mind thing. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I definitely was hungry. But like I said, maybe twice a week in those 3 weeks right there. Second week, third week, and fourth week. When I did feel weakness, my body was weak, then I supplemented that. And I'll tell you how I did that. But I was also sent 2 messages from 2 different people. And people are going to be people. You can't get upset about it. And one of those persons was on Facebook. I really don't know the person. I'm not going to put him out there like that. It was a guy, and the other one was a female. The guy was like, hey, man, it's a friend of mine on Facebook. I really don't know the person, but they know somebody that knows me, I guess, So anyways, they sent the message, and they told me, that you broke your fasting diet, right? And I said, why? Because he said, I seen your Instagram thing, or no, your TikTok thing, and you explain how you have a broth a week. And I said, yeah, I do, and he's like, well, that's not fasting. And he's like, fasting is just water. And I said, yeah, well, if you were on my TikTok, you'd see that I had a video. I wanted to say that, but I didn't, because I'm not gonna feed into that. I'm just telling you guys, and that's why I'm not mentioning a name, because that was his point of view, and I had to respect that. Okay, so it's not fasting to him, but clearly in my videos I say I'm gonna fast my way, and I'm gonna tell you why you do it your way. Because you're the one fasting. You're the one that's going to go into that deep water. Especially if you're talking 14 days, 30 days. Man, that's deep water. That's serious fasting. This isn't no 12 hours, 18 hours, 16 hours, 24, a day. This is real. This is deep water, And I had to do what I had to do. And if it's going to be cheating in some people's eyes, then it's going to be cheating, And it's going to be me cheating. If that's what it's going to be, it's going to be me doing the cheating. And if that's cheating, then it's cheating in your eyes. In my eyes, it's survival. It's get it done, get to the point. and get results. That's what it's about. And do know that I'm not the king of fasting, and I don't know everything about fasting. I'm just learning. This is my second time around learning, because the last fasting I did was in 2014, and it was 14 days. I think 2 years ago I might have done a 14-day and then ate some food after 14 days and then continued for a whole month, 30 days. But it was broken because I ate food. I'm talking fish, chicken, whatever was on the menu at the time, I ate it. This time there was no beans, there was no potatoes, there was no fish, chicken, pork, beef. There was none of that. Potato chips, of course not, Sweets, candies, cookies, there was nothing. It was straight 30 days. Well, the other person that sent me a message said that I broke my fast. Everything was good till I added fruit to my fasting. So you see, everybody has their points of views, and I respect both people. Let me clear that up. I respect both people for their views and what they thought about it. And they also told me maybe you should stop and start over. And I think the second message I got, they might have seen it 2 weeks after I started. So they were like, oh, you really shouldn't do it that way. You're not going to get the best results. The last person actually wrote on my messenger that I probably won't even lose any weight because I added fruits and my carrot drink. And what they didn't realize, it went like this, okay? So I drank water all week. Well, the first 3 days of the first week was just clean out. I mean, I was taking down celery, just a celery drink with lime. Boom, drinking it 3 days in a row because I wanted to clean out. Let me tell you something. I'll give you my intel on it. I wouldn't do it that way. I'd do it day 1 and maybe day 2. Day 3, it didn't make a difference. Because I'll tell you why it didn't make a difference. Because it took almost a week and a half for me to feel detoxed. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously feeling in my body, okay, I'm clean. I feel clean now. And I don't mean just number 2, you know what I'm saying? I felt clean, like I felt clean. My body felt clean, my pores, my face, everything felt clean. As a matter of fact, it felt dry, like nothing was there. That's how it felt. So to me, I think that 2 days is probably the most you should drink a celery drink. And then once every week or something like that, because you're not eating anything. It's mainly water. So I'm going to discuss the one drink, which was the clean out drink, the detox drink. Basically, it was drink number 1 was celery, cucumber, and ginger, and lime. That's what it was. I used that for 2 days straight. Okay. I also used it in week 2, week 3, and week 4. I did use it. The other drink I would make myself that I called the fruit drink because cucumber is a fruit. Cucumber is considered a fruit. Celery, ginger, carrot, it's not. They're considered vegetables, And it's funny how much you pay attention to things and you learn things and you say, oh, okay, so I could do this, I could do that. Cool, There was another fruit drink that I used was the celery, cucumber, and kiwi. That's the one that caused the problems. The celery, cucumber, and kiwi. And I tell you, if I had to have one every day, I was going to have one every day. And then I would have my water, and that's it. There was one other thing that I would do during the day. I would get me a couple almonds and cashews the unsalted ones. I know they're not the best for you. I know that. It was a mix. It was almonds and cashews together, the container. And I would chew them during the day. Every once in a while, I'd grab me some and I'd chew them just for the chewing factor of it or something. I don't know why it was going on, but I was doing it, okay? So as far as any foods that I've mentioned before, I didn't have any foods like that. Chips, nothing. And I can show you the covers. There's potato chips. There's onion rings. you know, Menards has these big old bags of onion rings, man. You can't beat the price on them. And they're very good. The reason I have those bags, I'll tell you why, because I said potato chips, but I don't really get into chips that much. My thing has been coffee, cookies, sweet bread, stuff like that. And it's not every day. Every day is the coffee, for sure. I would have coffee every day with creamer. But as far as the potato chips, they're just there randomly. Pick the bag of potato chips, put it in there. The onion rings, what I would do is break them and use them on salad. Put them over salad. A salad that I made, a ranch salad, Caesar salad, or whatever, I would put them over it. Lightly. So a bag of onion rings would last me a long time, because that's what I would use instead of using croutons. Okay, before I go, guys, I gotta let you know. If you want to see part 2 of this video, and I explain to you how I did not cheat, and I lost the 30 pounds in 30 days, go to Fasting for 30 Days, Lost 30 Pounds, Part 2, I'm Not a Cheater. Thank you very much.